Hi everybody, this is Belinda from Belinda's Book Nook, and I'm here for a Friday read. It's Friday! I'm so happy it's Friday. Oh my god. If you saw me a couple hours ago, you would have thought it was a Monday, okay? Because I had, I watched football last night. Y'all know I love me some football. And I said I wasn't gonna watch the whole game. I nearly watched the whole game, so I was up late. And then I got up this morning and I have my routine. I'm like doing everything, you know, waking up my son, the youngest one, and we're all getting ready for school. And I go to prepare the lunches and there's no more bread. It was like, oh no. I'm like, oh my God, okay. So I prepared, I was like, do not let that ruin your whole morning. So I went and I made everything else for their lunch, and then I just told them, like, I'm gonna drop it off after I make them. You can't take them with you. So I dropped them off, and usually I am like, you know, happy sunrise, you know, sun lady. I'm too happy when I'm usually in the supermarket and like, hello, good morning. No, I was like, direct me to the bread aisle. I need to get to the bread. I don't need to talk to anybody today. I need to get in there, get in and get out. So I got the bread and a couple other things. I came back and I went and I you know, made the sandwiches, and then I brushed them over there to the school, and I was like, you know, this feels like a Monday instead of a Friday. I'm usually in the car, even the car ride, I'm like, aren't you guys happy? It's Friday. I know it's school, but it's Friday and it's the best day of the week. And there was none of that speech this morning. I was just kind of like trying to go through the motions to get things done. So I'm feeling more revived as the day is going on. However, the weather is so gray. It looks like it's on the verge of rain. I don't know. I think that there's quite, the sea level is kind of low. It's quite, well, I shouldn't say that. This weekend I think it's supposed to be nice and sunny, but it's not too bad. It's just really cloudy right now, and it does look like it's going to rain. I don't think it's supposed to rain, but it sure looks like it's going to rain. And I will be fine either way. I will survive that. So that's it. I went and got my hair supposed to be trimmed recently. I guess, yeah, since I've last video. I think before my last video, I'm not sure. And she really, you know, trim really means cut too at the hair salon, you know, unless you're very specific. You know, sometimes they start with great intention and they cut and cut, and then they kind of go around again. And usually when they're on like the third or fourth round, I'm like, wait, it's no longer a trim, it's now a cut. So, but I really needed it. My ends were getting really dry, so it's okay. And my hair grows fast, so it's fine, but it's kind of funny because I'm always like, I say trim, but I know it's gonna be a cut. So what's been going on in the reading sphere? Okay, so this is what I did. So y'all know that I'm doing this, right? And this is the fall into reading. Speaking of fall, oh my God, here I am, like the bright, shiny object distraction. Fall is upon us here because this is how I do it. Like I peep all the trees in my neighborhood, but in my immediate area, in my neighbors and my yard, I look up and the trees start from the top to change color, and they're already starting. So, you know, it's beautiful. The color's beautiful, but it doesn't last very long, and then it's all on the ground. And yeah, so it's coming fast and furious, despite the strange weather, like heat. You know, like we're not supposed to have the heat that we're having now. This time, like my grass is usually, I think I've ever said that to you guys, my grass usually looks like hay by now, and it's green. And I'm like, I've never had green grass beyond maybe mid-July. I know, I don't use chemicals to keep it green, so it's water. So it's kind of funny, you know. But back to where we were before I went off in a tangent. So I am still, you know, trying to work on this fall into reading. And so what I started was one of the good ones. Remember I talked to you about this one. This one kind of fulfills the whole YA, you know, fulfills a couple of categories and new to me authors. I started it, and this is my thought. I want to finish it, right? Whenever I say that, you all know that I'm like, here she goes. She's either didn't like it or something. No, it's not that I don't like it. There were some elements in here that I actually was enjoying. But then it's from different points of view. And tell me if this bothers you or if it's just me. I feel like I'm being more nitpicky anyways now. As the last 2 years have gone on, I feel like I'm picking like I am an editor, and I am not an editor. I just feel like certain things gel with me now and other things annoy me, right? So in this book, there are, each chapter is told by a different person and a different time. So there's an event occurs in the book, and they reference 30 days before this event, or this will be 2 months after the event, or 90 days, you know, like, it's kind of exhausting to me. Maybe because I'm not sitting, and this is, again, we talked about this before, sitting and just reading this book hard for hours and hours. Because I jump in and then I jump out, it's making it very jarring to have each chapter be a different person at a different point in time. And so I keep getting a little bit, I don't want to say annoyed, but it wasn't grabbing me, because I felt like I had to keep reorienting myself each time I get back to the book. So I did the right thing. I set it down. I'm still thinking it's going to be in there as a contender, or to be read. But I'm not going to keep trying to do that, because right now my life isn't allowing me to sit for hours on time to read. I've got little chunks here and there, and that's what's going to happen. So maybe that is what's happening with this one, right? So I put it down and I picked up this one. And this is Next Year in Havana. Look at my little bookmarks. These are so cool. You know what I did? I made these little bookmarks really easy. I took an old calendar, and I really like the images, and I cut them up to bookmark sizes. I put paper in the back, but I like the pictures. These are like kind of fall kind of looking pictures. So like, yeah, so like this one too. Yeah, anyway, so that was a side note. So, that must be me. Maybe it's because I'm lack of sleep that I'm not like staying focused. Speaking of focused, so I picked up this one, Next Year in Havana by Chanel Clayton, and I'm very much enjoying it. I think even if you put it down and pick it up, you still kind of know where you are. It is 2 different time periods, but it's very easy to follow. There's a little bit of romance that seems might be brewing in here. So I'm really liking this. I'm happy. This one will definitely finish. And this one could possibly fulfill at least 5 of the categories. So this is what I need to do. I definitely know I'm going to read this one. So I said this to you, and somebody agreed with me that I should do the book covers. So I'm going to print little mini book covers, and I'm going to put them on the bingo card where I, am inserting them in. And I will just, until I get to the final thing, I probably shouldn't glue them down. I don't know, because I might change my mind and use another one for a different category. That's what scares me about putting them down permanently. But anyways, back to this book. It's very good. It's set in Cuba. A girl's going to bring her grandmother's ashes back to Cuba. She's never been, but only heard stories, because her grandmother was the generation that came here and from Cuba. And it's really good. It is a historical fiction, so you're getting a little bit of information, and it's just paced nicely. I understand what's going on. It's making me get happy. So this one will get done. I feel like the month is getting away from me, so I know I won't be able to read as many books as I normally read per month, but I think that I'll be able to, between now and the end of this challenge, kind of pick up the pace a little bit. So I'm not going to compete myself up, because it just is what it is. So there's that one. And then this one I want to get to. This is the only other one I want to try to definitely get to this month. And it's the one I told you about, the Lisa C., the tea girl of Hummingbird Lane, which has like the gorgeous cover. And it's that suede, I call it suede feel to it. It's so nice. Just don't have lotion on your hands because then it leaves funky marks on it. But I love how it feels, and it's floppy, and her books are fabs. So I'm excited to do this one, and this one will fulfill maybe 6. So hopefully I can get ones that I didn't get with that one, and we'll be making progress on the bingo card. I think what I'll do is I'll show you it. I'm thinking when I finish, okay, at the end of this month, I'll show you where I am with the bingo card, and that would be a good way to do it, so you can see, you know, how much I've cleared on the card. This will help keep me honest. Another thing I wanted to mention, because on Friday is kind of a loosey like talk chat, what's happening with me, is I had picked up this book, and last month I had started dabbling and reading a little bit here and there. But I'm really intrigued by it because September's like almost a new year for me, because I always feel like, you know, start of school, and I'm always trying to, you know, reorganize things and reframe and revisit and reflect on what has happened through the summer, and now we're starting into the fall season. And so this book, I heard the author speaking, I think, on a podcast. Her name is Christine Platt. And this is a nonfiction, a wellness, self-help, whatever you want to call it, book. And it's called The Afromentalist Guide to Living with Less. And what I've read so far, I've really enjoyed, because she talks about, you know, the whole minimalist movement and how it is kind of geared and presented in such a Eurocentric way that, you know, oftentimes when you think of minimalism, you think of, like, certainly not this wall. You're thinking of white walls, gray, black, just very monotone and muted colors. And she's approaching it in such a way to tell you about what to be a minimalist kind of is, but she's also showing you that it can have color, it can have culture, and still be minimalist. And so she talks about her process of how she kind of evolved to where she is now. She even has an Instagram page that she, you know, posts stuff on there as well. And I find it really interesting because I feel like that's where I am over the last year or so moving towards. I've changed like my taste completely. So my house is really kind of in transition of moving from one style to another. I have really been trying hard to kind of like pare down everything in the house. And so I really welcome to see this, and also to know that it's a constant journey. You don't just kind of reach this place and I'm there. It's something that you visit every day with every purchase, and being more mindful about your purchases. I really like that kind of stuff. So this is in the background. I don't think it will fulfill any of these categories except for nonfiction, but I am going to read it anyway, and I may not finish it this month. It's in the background, but I'll let you know as I continue on with it. I'm enjoying it so far. So there's that. And then the last thing I have, and I wanted to mention to you guys, is I'm a member of the Sierra Club, and it's a environmental organization in the United States. And I joined it, I think before I had kids. And so what comes with it is the magazine you get, and I think they used to be monthly, but now this is fall, so it looks like it might be a quarterly thing. And it's also changed size. I looked at the last one, and I looked at this one. It's a little bit smaller, but it's actually a little chunkier, but it does have a lot of ads. So what I do, like I told you guys, when I read magazines, I never just open it and start reading. I open it and I start flipping through. And when I see something that I'm interested in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back and read that. Then I come back and read those, and then I usually come back again and I'll look at the other things and see if there's something else that I missed. That's kind of how I do it. It's weird, or it's just, how I do it. So in my first flip through of this, the three things that I definitely want to read, and first of all, let's just pause on the beautiful cover. This is Deb Haaland, I think that's how you pronounce her, Haaland. And she's the first, I'm going to say it right, so I don't think she says native? Yeah, she's the first Native Interior Secretary for the United States. She just got this position, and this article in here is about her. This is a great picture of her as well. So I'm really intrigued to read it, to hear her story, to hear about what her thoughts are about her new role and how she plans to fulfill the duty. And then the next one I wanted to read is, this caught my eye totally, was the title and the picture. And it says, Joy and Danger in the Twin Cities, Biking While Black in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And this is the picture of it that caught my eye. So you've got the person here getting ready to look like they're gonna jump onto the bike. Okay. And so I'm intrigued. I peeked a little, and I think it just talks about, it is like, I guess Minneapolis, I believe, is the #1 place, I think, in the U.S. for biking. But, and there's a large black population of biking there, but due to various circumstances, the black people there, it's based also on the, the very, on the history of that state. Oh my God. So I'm just phlegmy now. So it basically, the places that some of the people of color or black people are biking are less safe. There's also issues again with police brutality, of why it isn't the same experience for them biking there in Minneapolis. That's what I'm gathering just from the first paragraph and the title, right? So I'm going to read that one. The other one that caught my eye is Regeneration, Justice, and Renewal, The Path to a Climate Resilient Future. It just sounds like it's going to be good. I like to read things in here because sometimes it will springboard me to look into other things. So that is the third one. So my hopes is to pop through this weekend, in addition to kind of really making some headway. I'm only like, inside of the next year in Havana, I'm at chapter 6, so I'm at about 60 pages in. So I got me some way to go here. So I need to step up my game because this month is flying by. I'm like, I read one book. So the good thing is, like I said, at least for this challenge, if this, how December and November usually are a loss for me. So I got to step up my game this next month for sure, because the holidays just kind of wreck it for me. So the good thing is that I'm using one book for multiple categories, so I should be able to get a bingo. I don't know if they want us to, I guess the goal is to fill the whole card, but I'm also going to go for, like, it is a bingo card. So when I get my first row, I am going to celebrate, like, hey, I'm going to say bingo. So yeah. So that's my, I don't even know how long I've been talking. I feel like I'm in a daze. I'm done. Oh, and my last little complaint about myself is that I have fallen terribly behind in my book journal, and I'm desperately need to catch up. But here's the little dilemma. We have this much left in my journal. So I may have to change my format for the rest of the year, because I do 2 pages per book, but I might be able to do that. I might have to just, because I want it all to fit in here. And and we're talking, so I'm going to have to do some single pages here. I'm not really happy about it, but I think I'm going to have to do it because I want it all to fit in this one so that I can start with a new one next year. Because I was loving some, I remember I had some thoughts about some other ones I wanted to use, but I went with this one for the uniform look. But listen, I want to break that uniform look and go with what catches my eye. Anyway, I'm babbling and my throat is like, I hope you guys have a good weekend. What are you reading? And do you guys do the same thing with magazines? Or do you guys still read? Am I the only one still reading magazines? I do. I mostly read them online now. But I do get that one from Sierra Club. And I get the ACLU, their magazine as well. So, but whenever I get one, that's how I do it. I like to do that. I don't know if that's normal, but it's me. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm gonna keep talking, and I know you guys have things that you could do that's a lot more exciting than sit here and watch me. So I'm gonna go, and I think I'm gonna relax a little bit because I can feel kind of a headache coming on. I don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know if it's allergies or what, but I'm feeling a little headache in the background. So I'm gonna go relax. Maybe I'll just go do a little reading to soothe my headache. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you next week.